I'm an internal medicine physician in the United States, and it's taken me over a decade after high school to get to this position. So if there's a thing or two to know about motivation, I definitely know it. Personally, I've gone through numerous competitive exams to get to where I am today, which is very common when you want to do residency in the United States. You have to pass USMLE Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and all of these exams, there's no set date. Usually when we're in school, you have your midterms, you have your finals, and it's prefixed. So you know that that exam is coming up and you have this pressure building up, and that's going to make you study. But what about these competitive exams that don't really have a date? You could set up a USMLE exam at any point throughout the year, and you can postpone it a number of times. Yes, there are some disadvantages to postponing it or canceling it. You lose some of your money, but it's not a definitive cutoff point to be able to put that kind of pressure on you. So how do you motivate yourself, or how do you find the motivation to keep going when you don't feel like it? When you feel like, I'm kind of burnt out, I can't do this anymore. Who's gonna tell you, no, you have to stick it out, you can do this, you're almost there? So that brings us to the two different types of motivations. One is called intrinsic motivation, and the other is extrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is this innate want, innate joy, wanting to finish certain things because that's your goal. You're not answering to anybody, you're not reporting to anybody, it's just you. You want to do it, you feel good after you get it done, and that's that. Extrinsic motivation are things that we're more used to. Getting praise from someone, getting monetary reward when you do a job, getting good grades. All of these are extrinsic motivators. When we're younger in school, we have external motivation. We have our teachers who'll say, great job when you get a good grade, or our parents will be really proud of us when we bring in a report card with all A's or B's. But what about later on? When you move past your schooling, you go into postgraduate studying, medical school, college, anything that's more challenging. There's no one who's going to be patting you on the back saying, great job, and there's nobody that's going to give you a reward or a sticker for all the hard work that you've put in. This is when it gets really tough. Once you get into medical school and these competitive exams, that extrinsic motivation is almost zero. On the days, especially when you're feeling really low, when you're feeling like you can't go on, or you'll start in an hour, or we'll start today evening, we'll start tomorrow morning. My advice is to try to build up that intrinsic motivation for yourself. Here are 9 steps for internal motivation and to keep you going. Number 1, find your why. Why? Why am I even doing all this? Do I even need to be sitting here studying for hours on end? When is this ever going to end? Why am I doing this at all? Number 2, write it down. Get a piece of paper out and just start writing. Are you doing this because you have a goal of becoming a doctor? You have a goal that you want to see through? Then write it down. Just the act of starting to write it down is going to solidify the reason behind why you put in all this work to even get this far. It's going to remind you of your initial passion, give you that initial start to that motivation coming back again. Number 3, focus on your achievements. Write down what you've achieved so far, because it's really easy to get into the imposter syndrome of, I'm not good enough, I have so much to do. There's just so many things to cover. There's like 2,000 questions in the question bank. How am I even going to get anywhere? Just pause on that. How far have you gotten? You've gotten through med school, you've gotten through college, and you've actually ended up here? Or you're on your way to preparing for the MCAT? Whatever it is, you've clearly gotten to a point where you have overcome hurdles before, where you have put in effort and energy into studying before. Recall your progress. Tell yourself what you've done until now. Number 4, release your frustration. If you're frustrated, Don't let that fester. Release that emotion and just say, I'm frustrated because there's 2,000 questions in the question bank and I've only gotten through 50 of them so far. I just don't understand how I can possibly get through all of them in the next 2.5 to 3 months. That's fine. Say it out loud, what exactly your frustration and worry is. Because unless you see that, there's no way you can answer and calm your fears down. You can find a solution, you can brainstorm, you can meet with your peers to figure out what the next step could be. But just kind of thinking about all of this in your head and not moving forward is definitely not helping anyone. Number 5, don't pay attention to the scores, at least initially. Focus on learning the material. Don't pay attention to the scores. Anybody that starts any sort of question bank is going to score 10%, 20, 30% initially. Of course, that's not enough to pass. It was the same case with me. Don't let that 30% score on a practice block discourage you that day. The whole point is that you did a practice block. The whole point is that you're going to go through the incorrects, take notes, and learn from your mistakes. This is not your final exam. This is not the final test. Number 6, learn from your mistakes. You do a question. If you get it wrong, then you figure out, oh, okay, maybe I don't know this concept that well. Then you go back to the book and then read through that concept and connect that question and then saying, okay, this is the question. This is the important topic that is being asked of me. So this is what I need to pay attention to while I'm reading the textbook. Number 7, accountability and community. I also think it's really important to have peers that you're connected with who are in the same journey. And if that means you find another study partner in your own school, or you go online onto forums where people are bouncing ideas off each other, or just finding a study buddy to go through the questions together. Having some sort of accountability, an accountability partner, is going to help keep you on schedule. It's really easy to say, all right, well, I wanted to do 30 questions today, but I ended up doing 15 and then I kind of got distracted, but you know what, I'll catch up tomorrow. And then that happens again tomorrow and the next day. Whereas if you have a study partner who has done those 30 questions, even if you skipped a day, the second or third day, that pressure is going to build on you. And that's what we want, right? Because if there's no pressure at all, there's no movement forward. Number 8, seek a mentor. Somebody who's already finished this exam, recently completed the test, can give you advice on how to prepare for it and figure out how you can implement some of their strategies into your study plan. Number 9, self-care. Prioritize self-care. That doesn't mean stop studying altogether and just go to the mall or watch a movie, but be sure to schedule in regular breaks. Give yourself a break for at least one day out of the week, and definitely set yourself a hard cutoff line every evening to say, this is it, I'm done for the day. Studying 6 or 7 hours in a row is not the way to get to your goals the fastest you can. In fact, I would caution you saying that studying continuously without breaks is going to cause you to burn out faster, and then you're going to have to take a longer break before you get back into studying. Rather than that, it's better to have scheduled breaks throughout the day and then tell yourself, all right, after 9 p.m., I'm not going to touch my books for the night. I'm only going to start studying again tomorrow. And then give yourself a break to relax, watch TV, whatever you need to do. And take at least one day out of the week, a Saturday or a Sunday, but leave yourself at least half a day, and if possible, the whole day, to just do your errands, to relax, to not touch your books, and let your mind reset and process the information that you're learning. It's kind of like what they say with working out. Just because you go to the gym every day and start lifting dumbbells doesn't mean you're going to get jacked in a month. If anything, not letting your muscles recover is going to push you towards injury. In summary, here's my pep talk to you. If you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling like I haven't gotten much done, just remind yourself, you have gotten something done. You've been studying, you're making progress, and you're watching this video to try to rebuild your motivation because you have a goal that you want to achieve. But there's a steady way to do that. And that motivation is something that you will have to build for yourself. Day by day, you're going to have to remind yourself why you want this, why you're doing this, and that it's going to eventually get you to your goal. I hope this video has at least helped someone who's in the process of studying, in the process of achieving their goals. And that's my goal, because I remember what it was like when I was studying and the days that I didn't feel so motivated and how hard it was to push through those days. Good luck to you all, and positive thoughts your way. Bye.